So we feel when things go wrong that life is randomly hitting us. It's doing things to us from which we won't recuperate. But really, life never happens to us randomly. It happens for us. Anything we are calling unfortunate is really work in progress that's happening behind the veils. Everything is so perfectly controlled that we are never given more pain than what's good for our growth. Every drop of pain is perfectly measured, and Mother tells us that every sincere aspiration is heard. While going through difficulty, if I remember these two things, that the difficulty is not against me or randomly hitting me, it's happening for me. And if I aspire to grow through this difficulty, to reach a better place through it, my aspiration will come true. When I live with this, then automatically I'm not caught up in surviving. My constant bid to survive, which generates self-regard or extreme egoism, becomes dim. And I have more energy to give and to really give to people around me, remembering that they are all God, is to live. We discussed a beautiful story where the king declared a reward that whoever treads a highway he had built the best would get a box of gold. People devised various ways to walk on this highway, wearing fancy clothes, running the fastest, going on fancy chariots. All of them came to a pile of rubble over which they stumbled, looked at disdainfully, and walked on. At the end, an old, tired, dirty traveler came huffing and puffing to the king, saying that I found this rubble on the way and I cleared it so that other travelers wouldn't be troubled by it. I found this box below the rubble, and he gave it to the king. The king said, "This box of gold is yours because you made the road better for others. He who makes the road better for other fellow travelers travels the road the best." So the king or the Lord, this is his parameter for how we live. How much do we give? And not out of a goody two-shoes attitude of giving. Giving because we are forgetting ourselves. We are remembering the divine presence everywhere, and we are so grateful to it for always having our back, for always making things happen for us rather than to us, that we spontaneously want to give back. When we live an egoistic existence caught up in ourselves, we look for beatitude and praise and flattery. But the mother says that this actually pushes the true beatitude away. The less we look at ourselves, the less we live with self-regard, the more we live with self-giving, the more we remember God instead of ourselves, the happier we'll be, and the better will be the road of life that we are treading. Mother says, the joy in giving is far greater than the joy in receiving. Because every time we give forgetting ourselves, our ego drops for a bit and we get a taste of the real self. In that taste is joy. Every time the ego comes to the foreground, the real self retreats. Every time the ego dissolves even momentarily, The self whose fabric is joy comes to the forefront.